Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Raila Odinga today declared the 20th day of March 2023 a national holiday. We all know that national holidays in this country are well defined in our constitution. What's your thought on Raila Odinga's declaration of public holiday on Monday? Will you honor Raila Odinga, or will you disregard him and proceed to work? The truth of the matter is that public holidays in this country are well defined in our constitution through Public Holidays Act. We have 12 holidays in the Republic. But let me take you back a bit. A few weeks ago, Raila Odinga issued William Ruto with some 3 demands which he expected William Ruto to meet, and failure to which he was going to lead the country into mass action. The 3 conditions were that, number 1, William Ruto opened the server. William Ruto has not opened the server because he said that's not his work. Raila Odinga should go and look for Chebukati. The second condition was that the recruitment of IBC commissioners should not proceed. William Ruto proceeded and gazetted the names of the selection panel. The third condition which Raila Odinga placed on the table was that cost of living were to come down. William Ruto so far has failed to lower the cost of living. So after the lapse of 14 days which Raila Odinga gave, Raila Odinga announced to the country that on 20th day he was going to lead the country in mass action. So the country has been waiting for this particular day. And because I've always told you that in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve specific political objectives. The choice of that 20th day was also chosen by other countries across the world. In South Africa, Malema plans to bring South Africa to a standstill on March 20th. In Nigeria, rallies against police brutality are actually planned in Lagos on the same day, March 20th. In Tunisia, there is mass anti-seed protests which are planned in Tunisia. Then in Nairobi, we have planned rallies. So basically on 20th, we are going to have 4 rallies in 4 different countries. But why do you think Raila Odinga decided to declare that day a national holiday? Before we get into all those, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please just press that subscribe button. What we do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. You can only find what we do on this particular channel. So just press subscribe so that next time we produce a video, YouTube will notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, I want to ask you this simple question. Do you think Raila Odinga is right to call for national holiday or public holiday, or to declare public holiday? Because of course, 20th, constitutionally, he's allowed to organize protest, which is going to organize. But do you think it's right? Again, by the way, before we proceed, the NCCK called Raila Odinga to a roundtable meeting with William Ruto. Raila Odinga told them no. For me, that's the first time I'm agreeing with Raila Odinga. The church has been here, they've been silent. When Raila Odinga gave the 14-day deadline, they did nothing. Why are they coming now? And in case Raila Odinga is not going to proceed with this mass action, he should prepare to go to Bondo. Because 20th is either going to make Raila Odinga or is going to break Raila Odinga. But that's a subject for another day. Why do you think Raila Odinga has declared Monday a national holiday? 4 reasons or 5. Number 1, I tend to think that that's a strategy by Raila Odinga to provoke the government. Why is it provoking the government? Someone can say Raila Odinga is now trying to act outside the law, which means 2 things are likely to happen. The first thing which is likely to happen is that someone somewhere might sit, especially the Security Advisory Council, they might sit and agree that let us arrest Raila Odinga or let us arrest his people. Because if you are keen, it's Martha Karua who suggested to Raila Odinga to declare Monday a public holiday, which means Martha Karua didn't want to declare it a public holiday, probably because she knew she might not have that power. But so someone might decide, okay, Raila Odinga is now going overboard. Let's arrest him. Arresting Raila Odinga is basically a provocation. So that could be a strategy. Second strategy, maybe Raila Odinga wanted to provoke the government, say whatever he said. Then on that day, when you wake up, you will find police all over town. You wake up to go to job, the police are all over town. What will happen next? You know what will happen next? People will not go to work. People will fear. As long as people will not go to work, as long as the streets of Kisumu, the streets of Nairobi, the streets of Mombasa, I'm just talking about specific towns, as long as they will be empty, Raila Odinga should have achieved his objective by 9 a.m., assuming people will not go to work, assuming industrial area will close, assuming Kisumu here, shops will close down. He shall have achieved his objective just by provoking government. Number 2, I also tend to think that the idea behind the declaration is basically to rally his supporters to turn up for the rally. You know, you support Raila Odinga, then Mwinde would open on that day, but Raila is saying it's a national holiday, so probably they'll fear, so they will not turn up. I mean, they'll not open, so which means majority of his supporters who work in industrial area, for example, or other places, will get opportunity to turn up for the rally. Of course, it could also just be a strategy to rally the supporters that, okay, Monday itakuwa holiday, we are not going to work, tunaenda street, so everybody will be waking up knowing that Monday they are not going to work. Raila amesema. So I also tend to think that it could just be a strategy to rally supporters to turn up in large numbers. Number 3, in my view, Raila Odinga is planning to paralyze national operations in this country. How do you paralyze national or government operations across the country? Declare the day national holiday, which means most government offices will remain closed, which means Kenyans will not go to those government offices to seek for their services. And by that, it will create confusion. And just like that, Raila Odinga shall have managed to paralyze government operations. Because the idea is that on this day, Raila Odinga will call on his supporters just to go and sit on the road, for example. How will you deal with them? They are very peaceful. They just seated on major roads. No movements of vehicles. What will you do? And number 4, I also tend to think that Raila Odinga's announcement is actually intended to create the momentum for mass action. That's the truth. I don't know how majority of Kenyans have reacted to that call. But if their reaction will be positive to Raila Odinga's call for public holiday, then it means it's going to create a momentum. Remember, we are from a Friday, Sunday, and then Monday people are supposed to report to work, then you tell them it's a public holiday. So between Saturday and Sunday, a lot of things will happen, and it will be able to create that momentum moving up to Monday. Once we are on Monday, which is the D-Day, Kenyans will turn up in large numbers. And lastly, I also tend to think that Raila Odinga has also declared this day as a strategy to keep Kenyans at home. You know, you can protest against the government simply by sitting at home, not going to work, not doing anything. Towns remain deserted. You know, foreigners will not go to JKIA. Some of them will suspend their activities. Government offices which will be open, nobody will be going there. So strategically, Raila Odinga is trying to use this call for national holiday as a strategy to, in my view, to keep people at home instead of going to work. Let me hear your thoughts. Bye-bye.